My name is Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of the best city in the world, the most important city in the world, and we are the home, the current home, and the future home of the Washington Capitals and Washington Wizards. I'm joined by members of the D.C. Council, and we just, with Ted Leonsis, the principal owner of Monumental Sports, we're down on the courts, and we signed a term sheet with Monumental Sports indicating our agreement. And so we are just very, very pleased to be able to support one of our most important employers, one of our most popular destinations, and continue to invest in catalytic initiatives and businesses that will bring the district all the way back. This is what I know about my hometown, that we are growing jobs in Washington, D.C., am I right? That our tourism is rebounding, am I right? And that our restaurants, we have the highest per capita restaurant starts in the nation. That we are working together to drive crime down in all categories, that we are coordinated in our approach, and that several months ago we came together as a city and we said we're going to fight for our teams. We put together what we thought was the best offer. It is an offer that's not only good for the teams, it's good for Washington, D.C., and I dare say it's good for this entire region. We will stand up to our commitment to invest $500 million in the total transformation of Capital One Arena in downtown Washington. We, with the teams, have identified additional opportunities to expand their footprint right here in downtown, and we're also going to invest $15 million in that. And as Ted likes to say, we're going to be together for a long time. So our agreement will allow us to at least be partners until 2050. So with that, I'll turn to Council Chairman Mendelson to see if he has any statements, and then we'll hear from Monumental Sports.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon to everyone. Just to be clear, you said 2050, 50, not 15, which would be actually going back in time. You know, when we were looking at December, everybody saw how important Monumental is to the city and to the downtown. We also saw that there was a lot of opportunity to really build on what's here already, which is where we are right now. I want to thank Ted Leonsis for working with us and for being willing to continue to be a partner. And yes, I do feel some of the love. That refers to a story that he was telling about me earlier. I do want to acknowledge all the council members who are here, and there are a couple who aren't, who would be here other than other commitments. Janice Lewis-George from Ward 4, Christina Henderson at large, Robert White at large, Brooke Pinto, Ward 2. Are we in Ward 2 right now?
Yes, we are.
Matt Fruman, Ward 3, Zachary Parker, Ward 5. Charles Allen was here earlier, and Anita Bonds was here earlier, and the other members were not. Kenyon McDuffie, yeah, he couldn't be here, and Vincent Gray couldn't be here, and Crayon has the flu, I think. So this is to show that, and actually this was true back in December, when you sent the bill down. Every council member co-sponsored that legislation because the council's been standing together with the mayor. And I'm really glad that this day has come. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
So the mayor wants me to get serious. Yeah, so the mayor's So this legislation was introduced in December, but it's a permanent bill and we have our own processes. So the mayor today submitted to the council legislation for us to consider next Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, I will circulate to members notice, which I'm required to do, that we will put before the council. The council on Tuesday will vote to approve $515 million in the capital budget that's paid over the next 3 years, which is our commitment to keep Monumental here and to ensure that we have a world-class facility. I am confident that that will go through the council, and I do want to be clear that we're not talking about the operating budget, which goes against programs. We're talking about the capital budget, on which there is the ability for us to provide the funding. That's what we offered in December, and that's what we're going to vote on next Tuesday. It's easier to do business in the District of Columbia than in some other jurisdictions.
So Ted, you have the floor.
It's a great day, and I'm really relieved. The mayor and Phil deserve all the credit. I had a difficult conversation with them and said, we can still be friends. Let's take the high road. I haven't signed anything. You never know how things are going to end. And the mayor pinged me, reached out to me, texted me, and then we started having our dates. We have the worst investigative reporting infrastructure anywhere. We would go pretty much every week, every other week, to the main couch in the lobby at the Waldorf. And I would jump up and run to the bar and get some drinks, and we would sit, but we would talk about what's the vision for the city. Because what I was most interested in is how are we going to reinvent, reimagine, be in this together. And the amount of work that has been done since December is extraordinary. First, there was the reinvention of downtown, the $400 million block of monies, and the committee that was created. And I read every word of that. And I clicked it, and I sent it to all of our people and said, hey, you should read this. There's a lot of good thinking, good work, expanding downtown, focusing on quality of life, trying to bring more people in to be residents here. 15,000 people, that's a really, really manageable kind of number. Then we had a new crime law. And, you know, I'm not a politician, but I looked at that as we're putting a flag in the ground about quality of life and quality of business, and that this area is important, and that we want to be in service to the businesses, to the residents, and to our teams, because we convene lots of people. This month, March, that's why I tweeted it, because I knew I would be here tonight, we'll bring 400,000 people to downtown. It's the most we've ever brought in. So I worry about people. I worry about how did they get here? How's the metro working? Are the traffic lights synced? I mean, that's what we do. And I really got the sense that that's what everyone wants to band together. How do we make this the greatest downtown? And you can't do it alone. And I felt that we were really in a good partnership, as opposed to where I thought I would have a great partnership. Now, they did have one thing that we didn't have, and the mayor identified, and we talked about that. land, space. We need space. This is a brand new space. It just opened. Thank you, Jose, for all your continuing help. And in major metro areas, you're in this arms race to build bigger and better and higher quality, and we've been running out of space. And again, working with the mayor and having a couple of drinks and saying, well, what could we do? Well, this mall next door closed. It, by the way, closed while we were halfway completing our esports center. And no one to talk to. And the city and a new landlord, we said, we could take a lot of that space. We could take this walkway here and connect it. We could now start to think about what could we do architecturally to make this area truly an entertainment community. And the mayor and the council said, yeah, that is what we would like to do. We'd like to have an area that's all about sports and entertainment and music and dining. And we can now have 200,000 square feet that we can expand to. It's not 12 acres, but it's enough. And that was really one of the most important things for me. Could we expand? Could we do it? And now I feel very comfortable that we can do it. And you end up wanting to, when you get married, I've been married forever, for almost 40 years. And, you know, when the mayor and Phil and everyone was talking to us, they said, you have to commit to a really, really long-term lease. The lease is the rest of my life. I'll be almost 100, so there shouldn't be any fears. Now, my son is here, Zach is here, and I have the greatest partners, and they all have kids. We treat this like it's a big business, but we try to run it like it's a family business. We want to make sure that there's always that personal touch. And to be sincere, that's what the mayor, that's what Phil, that's what the council gave me. The mayor was sending over the police chief to see me all the time. What are your concerns? What can we do? How can we work together? What are the traffic patterns? Where does the crime occur? That personal touch really went a long way. And I only want to talk about D.C. I don't want to talk today about, Virginia, but I will one day. We'll have a lot of fun. I've taken the high road, but we will talk about Virginia. But D.C. is home. And the mayor told me when I said we probably will be leaving, she said, no, you won't. She said, this is where you've been. You went to college here. You have blue and gray, which I wore. It's Georgetown colors, but it was really because Virginia's kind of two states. It's Richmond and Northern Virginia, and they need to get together. And sorry, I said I wasn't going to talk about Virginia. But being professional and personal is really, really important when you're in the entertainment business. And, this is really the mayor's day. And I mean that sincerely, because she could have just stopped talking to me, and I would have stopped talking to her. And she did the right thing as a business person. And while this is important for the city and the community, we are a really good business. We are a profitable business for the city. As we grow, we generate more revenues and tax revenues for the city. As we grow and we become more successful, the community will be attracting more businesses. They'll grow, and then they'll be paying their taxes and generating revenues and creating jobs. So we will create this virtuous circle, but we pay a lot in taxes. And so this was not only the right thing for the community, the right thing for the city, the right thing for us, it's a really smart business deal. And Phil made the comment, which I said, I never thought you could say this, but you need to make T-shirts that say, it's easier and better to do business in Washington, D.C. than it is to do in Virginia. So I hope this is the start of a business staying here. I volunteered with the mayor to let's go recruit companies to come back. I think that we can be used as we're a thoughtful, important company. We're the largest sports and entertainment company in the area, including all the NFL teams. We have the most employees, we have the most revenues, we have the cleanest balance sheets. We're a really, really good business. And we are choosing to stay here and partner with the city. And now I want to move that part of our development out of the way after I sign this, because the business we're in is crafting and creating great experiences, great memories, and winning teams. And it was great the last couple of days watching the Caps. Right? We didn't, and you know, for those of us who've been here for a long time, there's nothing like playoff hockey. There's nothing like, you know, and so we have a really good shot at that. And that, I think, would be really rewarding for the community, for the team to make the playoffs. And it certainly generates a lot of revenues for the community. This week, 7 days, we have 6 events. And so, you know, we're just this machine that continues to bring people in. And now we have to make sure that it's shared with all of the rest of the community, because we want people eating here. We want people shopping here. The reinvention of the mall, I think, is going to be a really, really important thing for Washington, D.C. So I thank the mayor, I thank Phil, I thank all our friends on the council, and we'll take some questions, but another day we'll talk about Virginia.
All right, we're going to have time for a few. Ted said, you know, he'll have time, a lot of time at another day, but we have a few questions today. Tom.
Thank you, Mayor and Mr. Leonsis. When did the talks at the Waldorf Astoria begin?
Oh.
I don't know the exact date, but throughout.
I'm sorry, weeks ago, months ago?
Not long after the announcement was made.
Okay. And the reason I ask is, I would ask Mr. Leonsis, did Virginia know that you were still meeting with the mayor while you were trying to get the Virginia deal done?
Can I just say something?
If you will answer my question, it'd be great.
Yes, I want to answer too, because no matter what, Monumental Sports is a DC company. So no one should expect that I'm going to stop talking to a DC company, regardless. So as long as they're a DC company now, and they're going to be a DC company at least till 2050.
Mayor, I understand.
Okay. I got it. Sure.
I understand your position, but Mr. Leonsis, did Governor Youngkin know you were carrying on this fairly public?
Yeah, actually, as I started my conversation, until 10 minutes ago, I had never signed a piece of paper.
I know that.
And so my agreement with the governor was, I will work with you, we'll work to do this. But if I'm sensing we're not the center of attention, I should be free to be able to talk to anybody. I don't have a contract, I don't have a deal. And he gave me permission, if you will. He said, yeah, your instincts are correct. And when you talk to him, he's a good man. And he said, yeah, she's your mayor, you're in town, go for it.
Thank you.
Okay, a few more. Yeah, Mark?
While you're still there, was it, and I know you don't want to talk about Virginia today, but I'll ask about Virginia anyway. What was it, the tipping point that made you sign with D.C.? Was it D.C. had the best deal? Was it that the Virginia General Assembly and things broke down in Richmond? Was it the Attorney General threatening to go to court to defend the lease?
The Attorney General, you mean our Attorney General? I'll let
Shall I?
you, yeah,
Oh,
you do that
oh.
one. Okay, so
Go ahead.
we're a very thoughtful, mindful business. We're not politicians. And we have like a whiteboard, and we put down what are we looking for, fans first, players, our employees, and then my partners, from the business and the return standpoint. And we would always put up what's important, what's going to be delivered. And things get moved around. And as I said, DC did everything right from December on. Every single move that they made, we would put on the board and say, that's impressive. This is really important. We need this. And they were together. And when I looked at the other side of the board, some of them weren't scoring as high, and they weren't together. And so we are an incredibly valuable company. Forbes just said we're worth $6 billion. That would make us one of the 10 most valuable companies in Virginia, one of the 10 most valuable companies in Washington, D.C. We should be treated with that kind of respect. The city treated us that way. And that really was what the game changer was for us. And then getting more space and all the things that we talked about. But there wasn't a aha moment. And, I'd like to put to bed, I've never met the AG here. I didn't even understand the letter that he sent. I certainly didn't move quickly because of the letter. This took a lot of work and a lot of time. And, no one really was involved other than the people that you see here to make this decision.
When you look at that whiteboard, we talk about Virginia, D.C. How about Monumental? You and Monumental make mistakes since December. Do you think you made all the right moves since December?
Now, what kind of question is that? But yes, we made tons of mistakes, but we managed to outcomes. And the outcome is exactly the right one.
I have a couple back here.
Yes,
Megan?
thanks so much. Mr. Leonsis, I just wanted to ask, after the budget deal fell through in Virginia, how quickly did you reach out to the mayor? Like, did you call her? Did she call you? And tell us about, was there a final meeting, in the hotel where this came together?
We've had lots of meetings. We've had lots of calls. And we have been in touch throughout. I mean, I can't put a pin to all of those different marks that you made, Megan, but I think Ted said early on that we've been talking throughout this process, and we believed always, you've heard me say, that we had the best deal. We have the most central location, best served by transit, a fan base that loves the location, 400,000 people in 1 month coming to this location. And the investment for us, while not insignificant by any means, What it will do to these square blocks in the heart of Washington, D.C. is good for the team, but it's also good for all of the businesses that surround the arena. So that's how we got here. So I know that there will be a lot of process articles. You know me, I will consider it water under the bridge, lessons learned. Now let's win. I'm going to take two more. Yep. Well, the big points are our commitment right now is to this site. Monumental is interested to build their practice facility on this site as well. And if this site doesn't work out for the practice facility, they could consider another DC site, and we would be happy to help them in that process. Now, what that means for the entertainment and sports arena, which we're also partners in and very invested in, is more space for the Washington Mystics and the DC Go-Go and additional events for Congress Heights.
Mr. Leon says too, I mean, when you went to Virginia, you spoke of a vision you saw that block. What's your vision for this area? Glass the entrance? Where does the training facility fit? What do you look at?
Well, that'll be the next. I mean, of course, we've envisioned what we could do. Now we just have to elongate it, if you will. And we're not going to do anything second class. We have a lot of resources. And, you know, right next door, last month, we opened the world's most advanced digital studio. It's right across the street. It's on 6th Street. And that's what we want to do. Right here is the best esports theater. ESPN broadcasts all of the esports events right here, Washington, D.C. And so that's what we want to do. So whatever we end up coming back with and showing to the city will be special because we have the means to do it. And now we have, you know, a bigger palette. And we're using world-class architects, and we'll come up with something that's really, really great. Oh, yes, I'm that good. No, but, you know, to thine own self be true. All day today, I've been really relaxed. I think organically, naturally, our leadership team, our management team felt this is home. But when you're CEO of a very, very big company, when you're mayor, when you're head of the council, you have to make decisions that are in balance to the constituents that you serve. And that was a very, very tough decision that we made. It was personally really, really devastating. And then having to make a decision that says, you know what? This is a better decision. I mean, the mayor told me, I'm proud of you. It's hard to say, you know what? You were right. This is where we should go. But we'd only go if we do something bigger and different, and there are visible signs of change and improvement. Okay? My belief is don't have a bad day. If you have a bad day, you'll have a bad week. If you have a bad week, you have a bad month, bad quarter, bad year. And so we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep improving on everything that we do. And, you know, I think the atmospheric here is to do that. And so we're going to do something really, really special architecturally. It'll have to fit in with all of the ground rules. One thing that we've negotiated is a white glove treatment because we're going to spend $500, $600, $700, $800 million. All that money goes for goods and for people. And they're union workers. And we're a union shop. And we're a proud union shop. And so that money goes back into the community. And And, it kind of passes down. These dollars that will be invested, we're going to spend it like it's our money, because it is our money, right? The taxes that we're paying are dramatic, and as we grow, it's a good investment. The tax base increases. And so, yes, we will do something that the community and the city council and mayor will be very proud of.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm only asking because a lot of what you mentioned in regards to security DC and the downtown plan is already being spent by December pretty much.
No, that's I don't feel that is true at all. I don't want to take us as credit, but I think that when we said we were leaving, and we weren't leaving because of those other matters, it was just because it was 70 acres and we were getting 12 acres. That was the compelling reason to go. But I think that Brooke, I think that the mayor, I think that everyone came together very quickly around the beginning of the year, and those laws just passed. And so...
Okay, a question here, press question here, last press question. So 1, 2, 3.
Mayor Bowser,
Yes.
what is the language in this agreement that would prevent the team from scoring and leaving DC again before their lease ends?
There will be safeguards about that, and certainly while we finalize our negotiations, we'll be exclusive, and at the end of the term, we will have language that dictates how a team in our relationship would be if they decided to leave. Now, while Ted would be 100, I'll be 75, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here to watch it. Yes.
Quadrangle Development and Chairman of the Downtown Business Improvement District.
Thank you for
I'd like
being
to cut
here.
to the chase. I'd like to thank all of you, for your tenacity. I don't care what missteps may have happened along the way. It's all about results, and together you accomplish them. How often you met is irrelevant. As a native Washingtonian, it warms my heart to see what you collectively
Thank you.
accomplished.
Thank you. Thank you. Last question. And then I think there's a game or something happening.
Thank you all for your time. Mr. Leon says, did you ever consider spearheading a strictly privately financed deal? And